What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and you're tapped into Continue or Nah, which is a series I created where I let you guys know whether you should check out a new series, a new book, a new manga, a new anime, or nah, throw it in the trash and find something better to watch or read. So let's get into it. So, in this installment of Continue or Nah, we're going to be discussing Netflix's newest fantasy horror animated series called The Wolf King, which is based on a six-book series called The Werewolves, which is written by author Curtis Jobling. The first book of the Where World series was released in 2011, and the series ended in 2013 with book six. The target demographic that Curtis was trying to tap into were boys between the ages of 10 and 12, but I also think he tapped into the girls' demographic as well. It's a very interesting story where you have shape shifting, epic battles, epic travels, a full throttle adventure. So, this story follows four main protagonists, but our main protagonist is Drew Farron. He's a 16-year-old boy, and in one night, his life is completely dismantled and it's turned all the way upside down. Drew sees his mother's life being taken at the hands of another werelord. On top of that, his powers are activated, and he finds out that he is a werewolf, which is very rare because werewolves do not exist anymore, or they're not supposed to exist anymore in this time frame because they were eradicated by the tyrannical ruler King Leopold and his son Prince Luca. So now, with word spreading about Drew's existence, he is being hunted down by King Leopold's forces as well as his father and brother, who suspect that he is the one who took the life of his mother. As he's traversing the plains, running through forests, trying his best not to get caught, he bumps into Lady Whitley, who we come to find out is the daughter of Duke Bergen, who is the person Drew's mother last told him to see before she took her last breath. We find out that Lady Whitley is a werebear and her father is also a werelord who is a werebear himself. In doing so, Drew begins to create and meet and form bonds with these people, making them his allies. He meets Lady Gretchen, who is betrothed to Prince Luca, who is also a were fox. We also meet Hector, who is a were boar, and he is learning magic under the were rat, a cruel and loyal servant of King Leopold. I really enjoyed this series. So I would definitely say continue, continue, continue. Put it on your list. If you need something to play in the background, or if you're just someone who's interested in shape shifting people and magic, definitely check out The Wolf King. I will say, when I first saw the trailer for this series, I was like, no, this looks ugly. And I am the type of person that I'm all about like aesthetics when it comes to animation. So I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't know. But then I didn't have anything to watch on Saturday. And so I sat down and I watched it. And honestly, once I got past the art style, because what really bothered me were the hands, I felt like the hands were too big. They were like the size of their faces. But once I got past that, I really locked in. I was like, okay, I see where we're going. I know where we're going. And I'm pretty much down for the ride. And I'm glad I didn't get off after episode one. I stayed in all the way to episode eight, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But it's definitely a predictable story. There are definitely tropes in there that's like, okay, you know how this story is going to end for this person or that person. After reading the Wikipedia page, I don't know if this story is going to stay as true to the source material because there are a lot of deaths. I went through and read, and I said, wow, I don't know if they're going to put this in this series, but I am looking forward to this series getting a season 2 because it did end on a cliffhanger, and I would like to see what else this show has to offer. I did read that they were signed to do a 16 episode deal. And so we only got the 8 episodes for season 1. So I'm hoping season 2 it gets 8 episodes, and then we hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a season 3 and they get another 16 so we can finish this whole entire story out. Because finding out that it is a 6 book series got me excited, because I was like, "Oh, okay, so that means they do have a source material they can pull from, and it is a popular story. So that means we could get a cool and good animated series for this age demographic as well as for adults." Because I feel like a lot of new animation is trying to be the next like Adventure Time, or the next Owl House, or the next Amphibia, or the next like Infinity Train. I feel like a lot of shows are trying to have moments that are like shock and like awe and like have everyone gagged, but the payoff never is that. Like it never pays off. So I do feel like we're missing shows where there are tropes, and the tropes are very visible and you know what it is, but it's still very well written and it's enjoyable to watch. And I feel like that is what Wolf King is. Because when I mean the tropes are there, the tropes are there. Like you have Drew, who is very impulsive, but a very kind and very like honest character, trying to figure himself out as he deals with all these different revelations about his life. Then you have Lady Whitley, who is our tomboy character. She hates dresses. She knows how to fight. She is one of the best scouts in her kingdom. She loves being in the woods. Then you have Lady Gretchen. She is our girly girl, but also our like our warrior princess. Like she's a princess. She loves all the dresses and the pomp and circumstance of being a princess, but she also will stand up and fight for what she feels is right and for her friends. And then you have Hector. He's our shy yet smart and capable magician of the group, who dibbles and dabbles in sorcery, who is also supposed to be the leader of his kingdom when he becomes of age, and who is a trusted friend and confidant of Drew. Like all of these tropes are there. You got the blonde, mean prince who walks around thinking he owns the place because of his daddy, who treats people horribly, giving very much Draco Malfoy. Then you have King Leopold, who is a slimy, tyrannical, snakish man well, were-lion, who usurped the throne by force and by bloodshed. And then you have his right hand, the were-lord, who is a slimy rat, like what he can turn into, you know what I'm saying? And you have the family turning against the son, thinking he took the life of his mother when it's clear as day he didn't do that. And that's one trope that has never made sense to me. Even when I was a kid, you just automatically think your son, who has never shown you any violent tendencies before, would just kill his mama. And you're supposed to be his dad and his brother. And now you want him to die like this. Like that's a trope I have never understood when it came to series as a whole. On top of that, one thing I truly loved about this series were the transformations. I love them. I love them so much. Like I rewound every time Drew would turn into a werewolf, even when Duke Bergen would turn into a bear. We also get to see the were stag turn into a deer. There's a were shark, the were lions. Like it was so like it's cool. They all of a sudden all this light, it reminds me of like Dragon Ball Z when they're about to go Super Saiyan, when all of a sudden this light starts to spark up around them. Like it was so cool. So cool. Okay. And if anything, I just want them to come back for a season 2 so I can see other people turn into other animals. Pretty much. Another piece about this show that I really enjoyed, which I wish they would focus more on, but I don't think that is a part of the book series, are the Wildermen. They are these humanoid like creatures who look like they could be part tree, that live in the woods, and they have their own dialect, but they are very fearsome and deadly creatures. They worship certain animals of the forest and even certain werelords. And every time they came on screen, I got excited because I wanted to see what they were going to do or how our protagonists were going to get away from them. And I wish they would have focused more on them and their culture. But I feel like if we get season two, we will definitely see more about them based off of Hector and his connection towards them. So I'm going to stop here because I definitely feel myself about to start rambling. And if that happens, I'll basically end up telling you about the whole entire series. And that's not why you're here, okay? So definitely check out the Wolf King. Continue. Don't gnaw it. Don't throw it in the trash. If you have time to watch it on the weekends, definitely give it a watch, okay? It's a quick 8 episode series, a series that I definitely hope gets a season two, okay? So, as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below, share your thoughts with me, as well as like the video and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.